Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Gamers podcast. You can't teach an old gamer new tricks. I'm Ryan, and I got the Grumpy crew with me.
Hey, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Rob, Brent, and Damon. Hey, you guys, thanks for joining us this week.
Good to see you.
Welcome.
Yeah. How's everyone doing?
It's going good.
Yeah, too good.
Things are good. Things are looking up.
Yeah, they really are.
Mass Effect's coming out this week. We'll talk about that later.
Right?
More to come. Well, I just got a little bit of housekeeping. So if you're listening or watching, we still have free games to give away.
Come on.
All you have to do is send us an email to makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. You don't even have to have anything in the... We'll know what it's about.
Just a blank email will be good.
Just a blank email.
Yeah, we don't need the last 4 digits of your credit card or anything.
No.
It's all good. Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Unless you want to give us the last 4 digits of your credit card, then...
Social security numbers, things like that. So yeah, send us an email, makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. We'll send you a game. Also, I got a little notification this week that we hit 750 downloads on our audio podcast.
Hey!
Who'da thunk? Who'da thunk? So, actually, I was looking at the metrics, and we've actually been performing quite well the last couple months here.
Yep.
I think the audios are almost outpacing the video watches.
They were going pretty good for a while there.
Yeah.
When I remember to post them in a timely fashion. It's not Friday, and I go, oh, right, yeah, the podcast.
Jeez, Rob.
That thing we do.
You mean it's not your, waking priority when you wake up in the morning, Rob?
I can't remember half the time to wake up in the morning.
I'm right there with you.
Brent, I gotta say, it's surprising. As I mentioned many times on the show, I usually play my Switch before bed, and I'll look when I'm logging off, and you're still playing, and you're 2 hours ahead of us. And I'm going to bed at midnight, and then I usually wake up and you've already messaged something to our group.
Yeah.
Does this guy never sleep?
I never sleep. No, well, usually what I do is I just come home so exhausted. I take a 2-hour nap.
Oh,
after work every day. Then I get up and eat dinner, and then I'm wired for hours. But
Gotcha.
I do end up getting enough sleep over a span of time.
Right.
And I try and fall asleep, and I'm just oh, there's the Switch. Yeah. Switch. Yeah.
It's true. It
is.
Well, that's all the housekeeping I have. So let's move on into news, and we'll let Damon take the first story here.
I just mentioned it already, but Mass Effect Legendary Edition's coming out this week. And I'm really excited. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited. And so this week they came out with the last week they had the performance stats for the next-gen consoles, PS5 and Xbox Series. And 4K 60 for both, but the Xbox will do 1440p 120 frames. So I don't know. I don't have.
I wish I had a mic to drop right now.
Yeah. I don't have a 120 hertz capable television, so I won't be playing it that way. But if you had the choice, say if you did have a PS5 and Xbox Series X, Series X is going to be the way to play it. Not that a lot of people have PS5s because not a lot of people want to send the scalpers, through university. Yeah. No one can get them still.
We don't want to do that.
Yeah. But this kind of news ties in a little bit with what Brent's going to talk about here with the Game Boost. It's just Microsoft has about 90 some games that are anywhere from 30 to 60 frames, like up going from 30 to 60 or 60 to 120. And PlayStation kind of needed to do something that, to catch up a little bit. So, Grant, what you talk about Game Boost?
You can segue into that one.
Yeah.
Excellent segue.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Smooth, very smooth.
Smooth. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say now.
Game Boost.
Game Boost, yeah.
Game Boost.
So, Sony has introduced Game Boost for the PS5. Basically, what it is taking any PS4 Pro enhanced games, which there are a small number of them, and they're adding performance enhancements to the games. They have said that developers, if they choose, can patch their unenhanced games if they want to enhance them for the PS5. So, maybe more developers will hop on the bandwagon. We'll see. But I mean, there is a lot of big titles on that, including like Ghost of Tsushima and several others that that people, a lot of people still haven't played, might want to play on their PS5. Well, now they can get a little performance boost on that. And in other PS5 news.
Well, I'm going to stop you there just for a sec, Brent. I just want to interject quickly. So, I just did a quick search here to see how many 120 frame per second games there are on the PS5, and there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11.
So it is 11.
That do 120?
That do 120.
Really?
None of them are Sony exclusive first party games. It's like Call of Duty's Black Ops, Cold War, Warzone, Destiny 2, Dirt 5, Fortnite, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom.
Eh?
Oh, okay.
The Neo Collection, Rainbow Six
wants
Siege, Rogue Company, and WRC 9. So not one, like, I know that they're doing these 60 frame upgrades.
Not like one Sony first party game.
But the Game Boost games, but it's like that's all they're doing is they're boosting the frames. Like they're not.
Yeah.
There's no other enhancements happening.
Like auto HDR or things like that, and not only that, but they can only go back to PS4. They can't go back and get more frames on PS3 games, PS2 games, Xbox. You can go 3 generations back and can still get extra frames and play your games with a fresh coat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what made us
good.
insanely happy last week, going over the Xbox list, is that Untitled Goose Game is at 120 frames per second.
Well, the fans demanded it.
Oh man.
So
there is no other PlayStation 5 news. That's okay. No, I'm just
sorry, Brent. I just
no, that's cool. Actually,
I want to interject that there because I was like, did they actually boost any of these to 120? But no, they haven't.
No, that's a good call. Very good call.
But carry on, Brent.
Yes, I shall. But no, that was a great call. Actually, good info. So yeah, PlayStation 5s are going to be hard to get. I mean, they're already hard to get, but they're going to be incredibly hard to get probably well into next year. And a lot of the reasoning for that is because the 7-nanometer chip that the PS5 is now using is incredibly hard to come by. I found out that auto manufacturers actually use them in cars.
Yep.
And they're way outbidding Sony because obviously they have tons of money. So
oh wow,
it's hard to get. So they're actually going to be redesigning the PS5. It will probably still have the same form factor, but they're going to be redoing a lot of the internals, and they're going to be switching to a 6-nanometer chip. Pretty much, they haven't said whether it's going to be specifically for the PS5 or not yet, but who knows? It could be. But gives me some misgivings on actually, the games. Like, are they going to run better? Are they going to have new dev kits? Is there going to be lots of problems with it?
It's like, how many things can you change in a console before it's not the same anymore?
Exactly. I mean,
Like when I was a kid, I took my Nintendo apart, and then later on I put it back together, and I had spare parts. It still worked, but somehow it was just never the same.
yep. Left at the Yoshi parts. But no, it's very true, and you know, it just gives me a little bit of misgivings. It's like, how is changing all this architecture? Because for the 6 nanometer chip, they're going to actually have to change some of the design architecture, and which means probably additions or even a brand new dev kit, possibly. Not for sure, but possibly. And so, like, what is this going to mean for current PS4 games? What is this going to mean for the already existing PS5 games? I'm sure that they'll be able to do a lot of backtracking and fix all that stuff, but to have that, things aren't ready to go now. Next gen still technically isn't next gen yet, and within the space of a year after releasing it, they're going to do a full console redesign with a different chipset and architecture now. Yeah, it just I think it's just bad times for Sony right now.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because I do enjoy the PS5. I love the hell out of the DualSense, but it's had its issues, and now because of COVID and manufacturing problems, now it's literally going to have to redo its entire system. That could quite possibly, but not for sure, lead to future problems with the current and existing hardware.
It is bad for Sony, but I think everybody's like,
everybody's hurting, but
everyone's hurting for for microchips right now. Like, even video cards are still.
Nvidia's backed up for the same reason. It's the car makers and the pandemic, and good time to be a scalper.
Yeah, but we don't really hear about the hardware shortages for Nintendo or Microsoft. Maybe they're just quiet about it because they don't sell as many. Maybe, I mean, not Nintendo. They sold 80 million Switches or something crazy. I read that the other day.
Everyone's got one already.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So I mean, they have less parts, and it's a little tablet. So
yeah, there aren't many other people other than Nintendo trying to get a Tegra right now. It's so they've got the market on that. That's for sure. It's
maybe that's what the Super Switch will be. It'll just be literally two switches taped together, with like jumper cables between them.
Popsicle sticks and glue, and
they'll take the Genesis look where it have like the 32X on top, and then like a CD drive on the side, and
it's in the cartridge slot.
Yeah.
Slide it in there.
You'll slide two of them top on top, like that, like just.
And they'll have that game changer attachment in the back, so you can fit like 3 Switch games into it.
There you go.
And then a light, like the Game Boy, just right over the screen.
That's right. So you can
and a magnifying glass. Yeah.
So when you're driving, you can see the Switch screen. That's good.
That'd be a Switch Lite.
Oh man, yeah. If no one knows what we're talking about, on the original Game Boy, because it wasn't backlit, you could buy all sorts of crazy attachments, and some of them had a light built in. Some of them were just a big square magnifying glass with lights that shine down onto the screen, and so then you're dealing with the glare of those lights on top of magnified up in your face. And yeah.
Had to play in a dark room and like work out a half an hour before just to carry the extra bulk that went onto the Game Boy.
Good times. We got really rolling there, and I was actually going to ask, like, with Mass Effect Legendary there, where's everyone? If everyone's getting it, where are you planning on playing it?
I'm gonna play it on the Series X for sure. I've played the rest on 360, so
okay.
Series X.
Yeah, I'll definitely be going Xbox on that one. I mean, as Ryan knows, my recent problems with a lot of stuff. I won't go into that, but I'll be definitely purchasing that one on Xbox.
Okay. That's kind of the interesting thing about that. It's playing on the Series X through backwards compatibility because it's an Xbox One game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why it gets 120 frames on the Series X, not on the PlayStation 5, is because it's running through in backwards compatibility mode. So I think they're going to have to patch it. I'm not sure. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's coming to the Switch, though, right?
Is it?
No,
it is.
no,
It isn't. Oh,
Yeah.
no. I thought that
Okay.
would have been awesome to play it mobile, but no.
yeah, because that's where I was kind of hoping to get it, because I could definitely play that before bed, like burn through
Yeah.
those.
I was just about to throw more money on Nintendo if it was
Huh.
going to come out of that, but that would have
Wow.
been cool.
Then I'm
Yeah,
gonna play. I'm
that's a
gonna play
miss
it on.
for sure.
I'm gonna play it on PC. Then
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be where I'd play it as well if I'm going to. So.
it's because I don't have the access to my console, my PS5, like I used to. So okay. I just had that thought, and I wanted to interject that before we carried on anymore.
According to
Although
the Wikipedia, it's available on Microsoft Windows and personal computer.
you could do a remote play,
Mmm.
Yeah.
because that's like the thing that nobody's talking about for both PS5 and I think PS5 and Series
Yeah.
X for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
remote play, like remote play that.
Right. Right. As long as we don't have iPhones, that would be.
No, Rob, the PlayStation Remote Play works.
Yeah.
Does it work on iPhone?
Yep.
Shut the
Yeah.
front door.
Because I've just I tried
They
it
had
out
come
last
out with
week.
that beta just recently.
Really? Well, there you go.
I tried it on my on the iPad. Worked pretty damn good.
Are you in the beta right now, Damon? Or is that open to everybody?
I think it's open. I was in the beta, but it's just open.
Oh.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, right in the
Yeah.
Xbox app. It's if you set your console up in there, and you just find your console and you can do remote play. You can also stream Game Pass games to it. You don't have to be at home for that. You can be anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm gonna buy myself an Xbox. Can I borrow $350, Ryan?
So you can buy
buddy?
half of one?
Oh, for an S. For an S.
Yeah, the S.
Oh,
He's got a
yeah.
computer. I would.
Right.
He's got him. He's got a PC. Get the S.
Right.
You don't have
Yeah.
no reason to buy the
Yeah.
Series X.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
And I might actually find an S.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there are actually a lot of them available, and
Yep.
Yeah.
You can still find it.
having owned one, I gotta say they're pretty damn good. You know, people thought of it as like, oh, the lesser Xbox. It's the, the kid Xbox baby machine, but
Mhm.
when it launches faster and boots faster than my PS5, yeah, it's pretty decent. Yeah, just gotta
There
say.
you go. There
So
you go.
yes, Rob, if you're interested, yeah, definitely, yes, it's a good little add-on.
Right.
So-
Well, I'm just waiting to play all the Microsoft Xbox exclusives. That's why I've been really wanting to get one.
Yeah, and there's a hell of a lot of games on Game Pass that
I'm
you can't
sorry.
get on PC.
We've just been slagging so much on PlayStation. I'm sorry, Damon. I have
know.
to say
Oh,
something. It was
There's no games. I could have. I technically still didn't need to buy a Series X. It's been 6 months. I've played maybe 2 games that are actually optimized for Series X. Anyways,
sure.
I digress.
Well, even on PlayStation, I've played Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only optimized like new optimized game that I've played.
Yeah, I haven't played anything. I've been playing PS4 games on it. and then there, yeah, have you tried the medium yet, Damon?
No,
Good.
no, I haven't tried.
Good.
Those are the types of games I like to watch other people play. I don't know. I haven't heard
Yes,
that. I haven't heard
yes.
it's that scary. Like I can't wait to watch somebody else play it. Like that's great. But Yeah.
Well, if you got about 9-10 hours, which yeah, we won't go there.
Okay, we fell way down the digression path there.
Yes, we did.
Let's get this train back on the rails. So Nintendo doing what Nintendo does best lately is they did a surprise drop this week of a new first-party game coming out in June, I believe. Yeah. Rob, look up the date. I'll keep the people busy. So
All right.
in the trailer, it's the game is called Game Builder Garage, and it's basically that you can build games, but it's like a graphical interface. So it's like dragging and dropping components to build games. Like this could be the dreams that Sony was trying to do, right? I don't know how how robust it'll be. I mean, it's running on the Switch, so it won't be
Mm.
crazy graphical. But I mean, they seem to put a lot of love into things like this and Labo, and
Mhm.
you know, uh, what's the date there, Rob?
June 11th.
June 11th. So yeah,
Order.
like a month away.
Mhm.
I'll definitely be snagging it. I've seen some of the screenshots, some of the games,
Hmm.
and looked at a bit of gameplay stuff and things that the devs have done, and it ain't looking all that half bad, to tell you the truth. And the actual like game development part reminded me a lot of blueprints from Unity, not Unity, sorry, from Unreal Engine,
Oh, okay.
because the blueprints had that those kind of stacked tiers where you could kind of drag and drop and draw lines between objects that related to each other. So yeah, it kind of reminded me of that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I haven't dabbled in any sort of thing like that, so uh, yeah, that's cool that they're kind of making it look like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, it is Nintendo, and if things like Mario Maker and stuff like that were any indication, if this works out, I'm sure people are just gonna really go to town on it.
Oh, I don't remember from the trailer. Are they offering are you going to be able to upload your games? I wonder, and let other
That I
people
didn't
try
know.
them.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
It
like
says can exchange and download creations with friends and family over the internet or via a local wireless connection. So sort of.
Nice.
okay.
So anybody on your friends list, then basically.
So
Yeah.
I think that's how it worked with Mario Maker too. Is I don't think there was like a central site to upload it to. You just had to share your code out into the world and let people try it that way. Anyways, it's definitely something to look out for. Decently priced too. I think it's $40 Canadian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which totally reasonable.
Yeah,
It's totally reasonable to create your own game for
I was
$40.
just gonna say that.
Yeah.
$40 to make your own game. Yeah,
It's like
Nintendo.
Korean barbecue. You go there, you cook your own food. Anyways,
Oh, yeah, totally. They just need to bring back the DS kiosks now. You just go download your game, and anybody can walk by and pick it up.
And then you
Right?
can print off your Pokemon Snap stickers.
I want to do that.
The old Blockbuster.
Yep. All right. So, the Epic Game Store has been busy. So they reportedly this came out during the Apple versus Epic lawsuit. Like all this stuff that's coming out. Like I wonder what all this has to do with, like Fortnite and like they're just digging up everything on each other and releasing it to the public. It seems like, but it came out that they offered Epic Game Store offered Sony 200 million for 4 to 6 exclusive titles to the Epic Game Store.
Wow.
Yeah. So apparently they approached Microsoft and Nintendo as well, but nothing came of those. Can you imagine Nintendo games on PC? That is something a Nintendo would never ever allow.
That'd be
they
pretty
did have
amazing,
Super
though.
Mario Run though. There was Super Mario Run on the
Right.
on
Right, yeah,
There was a
yeah.
mobile game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't they do a
So,
Mario
I mean,
Kart mobile?
slippery slope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they sure did.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
sure did.
There's
Yep.
a Mario Kart and Fire Emblem
Yeah.
and Animal Crossing all on mobile. So they've
Yeah. The
dabbled in
Animal
that way,
Crossing
but
one was.
They've
Fire
been-
Emblem was pretty good though.
But yeah, 200 million to get an exclusive PlayStation. Like I mean, Days Gone is coming out here right away, which was a exclusive, and I mean it's going to be on both stores. I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
Like, could you imagine like Last of Us or Last of Us 2 showing
Yeah,
up on
that would
PC?
be crazy.
I mean, I imagine they will eventually, but
Yeah. Well, Sony has said they've committed to diversifying and getting a lot of their first-party games on PC. I
Mm-hmm.
think they did with Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I think it sold pretty well for PC there.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of Japanese organized crime, Yakuza's moving forward. All the Yakuza sequel games will now be turn-based. I don't know if anybody here is a Yakuza fan like me, but I like this news.
No one could be a fan as much as you, Damon. That would be the.
True.
You are definitely the biggest fan here.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like a Dragon was a huge success. They kind of went outside the box on that, and it wasn't for anyone that hasn't played. These are Yakuza has traditionally been a brawler. It's it's one of the few beat 'em ups that's kind of still rolling out there, and they're a lot of fun. And the new character that they created for Like a Dragon, he kind of views the world as like a role-playing game. He's a very unique character. I love this character. And so they're obviously going to continue with him. So they got to kind of make it kind of still go with that. There's another Yakuza series. I think it's called Lost Judgment. That was announced. And it's going to be the traditional beat 'em up style. So you still get that. But yeah, but good for Sega for bringing this to it used to be kind of a niche thing on the PlayStation 2, and it was only in Japanese, and then they localized it, and it's getting tons of love and remakes, and so yeah, there's a lot to go into in it, but it's a good time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Yakuza has just been it's been a blast, and I'm glad that it's getting the love and attention that it needs.
Go Sega. Yeah, Sega needs stuff. It's good.
They really do. And you know what? Sorry, just as a quick side note. Remember a while back I was saying that, turn-based games need more love? And look at this, like Monster Hunter, Yakuza. It's like so many of these games are now offering turn-based alternatives to their mainstream stuff. And
sure.
I'm digging it. I'm digging it.
Well, JRPG style is very popular right now. Like there's a lot of even the I think the Persona games are turn-based.
Yep.
Turn-based like this. So, and those are huge as well. So Rob's going to do the next story for us here.
Awesomeness.
Yep. Here we go. Ubisoft The Division mobile game announced. Which is cool.
Witcher?
All right, go ahead. Next story.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much there. Just that The Division, Tom Clancy's The Division Heartland is in development, and it's going to be a mobile free-to-play game.
Yeah.
Kind of join the Warzone and Fortnite. Yeah. So basically, they just took out a license to print money.
Yes. Because if anyone needs more money, it's Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for them.
Absolutely. We just thought we'd mention that because that was kind of interesting. Like a big new player in the mobile market.
Oh, sure.
Moving on though, has anyone been following this next story about the Metroid developer being harassed for his comments on the Metroid Prime trilogy?
Yeah, I've been keeping tabs on that.
So basically, what is his name? Michael Wicken. He reported that, so he was the director of Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3, but he hasn't actually worked at retro games since in 10 years. Like he left in 2011, but he just shared some knowledge on the internet, just saying that he really doesn't think it's possible that these remasters are going to happen because retro does not have the tools anymore that would be able to read the old code of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it would basically have to be a basic just redo of the game. And also, he said that the tuning of the motion controls from Metroid Prime 3 would be near impossible to map over. But I mean, Nintendo's shown that they figured stuff out. They just did it for Skyward Sword coming out here right away, right? So, But yeah, just proves what a lovely place the internet is, and
Yeah.
I'm sure that was all very angry Metroid fans too.
yeah, how dare you say this?
Yeah.
It's like you're ruining my life.
Yeah, how dare you share some knowledge?
Yep. And it's an opinion, right? It's not like he came out and said it's not. He said it would be very hard, very unlikely.
Yeah, and he gave the reasons why. It wasn't just like a blind statement, but
Yep.
people lose their minds when they don't hear what they want to hear.
And they were very legitimate reasons too.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, we're still waiting on news about Metroid Prime 4, and from what we've heard, they had a game they had something going, and then they ditched it because it just wasn't up to the quality of Metroid. So yeah, still like to hear more. Maybe this year at E3, which is just coming up in like a month here, isn't it?
Yeah, roughly.
What month is it again?
Mid-June, I think it's.
Oh no, what month is it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think it's May. It might still
March,
be April.
It's still March 2020, right? That's
It's May. Yeah.
Well, Brent, since you played the biggest release of this week,
yeah.
this previous week, let's. Why don't we go to you for what we've been playing?
Alrighty, I'll open her up. So, I've been playing Resident Evil Village, or just Village. I don't even know exactly what they're calling it, just Village.
Where's the big lady at?
Where's the big lady at?
She's there. Haven't gotten to that yet. I won't give out any spoilers, but I'll just gotta say the Resident Evil engine is absolutely fantastic. I'm floored by it. Like, I had sent you guys a couple of pictures and quick videos just to show you what it looked like, but it just could not capture the actual depth and brilliance and just the layering. Like, things that were way in the distance, like the castle, and you're like miles away, and you can see layers of like trees moving like all the way down the foreground, right up into your field of vision. There was just so much movement, making everything seem alive. I was really impressed with Resident Evil 7, and it just like takes it up another notch. Even the snow, like the way the snow was falling, and the movement of the wind, and how it, the snow actually moved with the drifts and altered course, and then reestablished itself like real snow rather than just kind of blowing in one direction. And just the depth of everything that was put into this. Like, I think I was telling you guys, I walked into a room. There was a gas lamp like way in the back of the room, and when you first walked in, the room was dark, and all you could see was this little pinprick of light. And then the camera iris like opened up as you moved further, and gradually got more just like a person's eyes adjusting to light in a darkened room. And I didn't even notice it for a second. And I went, holy crap, that was cool. It's the little nuances that are there. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, I was walking through just before I got to that room, and there was like a radio or record player playing somewhere in the distance. But just the spatial audio was crazy. It was like, how in older games you either hear it all around you, or it's only coming from kind of one direction. This was like direction. It had a direction, but every time you moved or your body shifted away from it, if you did something, the tone and nuance would change, and you could actually gradually, hear it get. It never got totally loud, but it just got, more perceptible as you got closer to the source. And I actually didn't even realize it was there at first. And I'm like, oh, there's like music playing. And just the way things creep up on you and the environment, it was almost distracting. It was just, just so much to look at and see and do. And, I didn't even make it through the outskirts of the village yet. Like, there was just, I'm hitting every house, looking at everything, checking out all the environment just to see what it was like. But yeah, and I mean, I did have an encounter with one of the creatures. I won't give it away that they are, and your character gets injured again. It's the same character from the first
Yeah,
from Resident
Ethan
Evil 7.
takes so much of a beating in every game he's in, right? It's
I know, and just like right off the bat, like within the first 5 minutes of the game, it's like, you know, like severely, like incapacitated again. And I'm just sitting there going, really, really, why even? But yeah, gotta say, game looks really cool. Just the gameplay and the mechanics are, you know, an improvement on 7, and it's pretty wild. I actually watched a video with a lot of the motion capture. Uh, and I played a couple of those sections already, and just to see how the mocap was done was just like absolutely freaky, and how they integrated it into the game. So yeah, so far seriously impressed, and looking forward to playing the rest of it.
I was reading how they've turned down the scare factor in Village as opposed to Resident Evil 7 because of the strongly worded letter that Rob had written.
I was like, "Dear Mr. Sony," or "Dear Mr. Capcom," I guess.
Mr. Capcom.
I really think they just should have had that as a difficulty setting. Like have the difficulty settings,
absolutely,
and then it has like a scare factor setting, and maybe even a child lock on it.
The arachnophobia slider, like
kind of like that.
Yeah,
grounded. Yeah, exactly, something like that, because the game could benefit from being a little scarier, but the environment sucks you in, which really lends to the atmosphere and kind of draws you away from paying attention to things. Mm-hmm. So that definitely does factor into the scare factor a little bit.
Well, without giving away any spoilers, because I am watching a playthrough of it, it does have moments where it gets scarier. So you will see some more scary moments there, Brent. It's
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's but a lot of people are saying it's the best one since 4, which is actually a very high praise, right? That's
that was I've played 4. Like normally I'm not into games where they give me ultra anxiety, but anyways, 4 was really enjoyable. I don't know, it was
the one that kind of changed everything up, right?
Yeah, it really did. And, it's still like one of my all-time favorite Resident Evil games, and this very much has the feel and the nuance and the atmosphere of 4, which is probably why I'm digging it a lot already. But yeah, it's like being back in the village.
Right on.
But the new village.
To get myself prepared for Village, I never finished 7, so I've been watching a playthrough of that.
And not playing it.
Ain't got no time for that.
I hear you. Just joking.
There's a backlog.
Yeah.
It's a log, all right.
What else have you been playing, Brent?
That's a good question.
Yeah, Mutant Year Zero here is the other game that you've been playing.
Oh, I hadn't forgotten. I was just kind of introing into it. Not that I would. Not that I... Oh, it's that brain fog, though, to tell you the truth. But yeah, that does happen sometimes lately. So what have I been playing? Mutant Year Zero. I tried it out on Game Pass on the PC and absolutely fell in love with the game. And it was on sale on the Switch a while back, so I grabbed it, and don't regret it at all. I mean, again, smaller screen, but you can play it on your TV. The graphics look just as beautiful, and it is this quirky little thing about mutant scavengers in the future who work for this basically overseer of the last city on the planet, and they're sent on missions. They get caught up in like intrigue and craziness, but it's a duck and a wild boar, and just the banter between the two of them will just like leave you in stitches. And it is also a great tactical combat game. It reminds me of like an evolution of XCOM.
Sure. Yeah.
But done in a very quirky, very interesting, and you know, a style that almost kind of makes you care for the characters, even though they're a duck and a wild pig. But just their personalities are just awesome. So yeah, been having a hell of a lot of fun with that too.
That yeah, just checking some pictures of it out here.
Mm-hmm.
You're recommending it. I'm gonna have to add this to my watch list and buy it and never play it, because you know that's what
That's what we do on the show here.
that's what we do.
It also might have the best name for a developer ever in the Bearded Ladies.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if you like Deco games, you know, highly recommended. And I think the thing I like about it is it cuts out a lot of the, like, I mean, it does have a base that you can go to, upgrade your weapons, you know, sell the things that you found for upgrades, you know, visit a bar for missions, you know, typical fare. But it's just the camaraderie and the fun of the game, that you can actually, you know, run them as a pair or separate the two, like to create ambushes, or you know, you can run them in tandem to do straight up tactics. The game is just incredibly well done, and for me though, I'm finding I like it much more on having it in a mobile capacity than I did on PC, just because it's, you know, it's like, you know, tactical turn-based game. It's good. It's portable. The missions aren't like super long unless you want them to be, and you start like really stretching them out. But you know, you finish a mission in 20 minutes sometimes, longer if they're incredibly hard or have more enemies. You know, there's a lot of depth. There's a lot of twists with the enemies. They can call in reinforcements, and you know, you can find yourself in a serious jam like very quickly. And you know, there's lots of great stuff that you can find in the world: new weapons, new enhancements. But yeah, definitely enjoying it much more as a mobile game.
Yeah, I'm gonna add this. Just watching a little video here. This looks right up my alley.
Oh yeah, that's what I was telling you. It's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, and it kind of, you know, went under the wire, but it definitely is a great little game, and you know, should have gotten a heck of a lot more exposure.
Okay. Well, thanks for that, Brent.
Hey,
Damon,
well,
why don't you hop on and tell us what you've been playing?
I'll carry it away. I know Rob didn't want to give Ubisoft money, you know, for the Division mobile game, but I decided to give Ubisoft some money, and I've been playing Immortals: Fenyx Rising.
Well, I gave my money for that one too. That's
right.
That's a good game.
We both gave him the money, and it was money well earned, because that game is fantastic. And if anyone listening hasn't checked it out yet, Rob did a great review on it for his second favorite game of last year, and I think for some people it should be their second favorite game of this year. I don't know what else would be first, maybe Mass Effect, but it's really good. Immortals: Fenyx Rising is an incredible game. For anybody, I don't know what kind of it's the least Ubisoft feeling game I've ever played. And I don't know what that says, but they really reinvented the open world concept for themselves. It pays a lot of homage to Breath of the Wild, and we are in a post Breath of the Wild world right now, so you have to, because that was a masterpiece, and this game is just so much fun. Everything about it is fun. And it's colorful and hypersaturated, and the writing is witty and quick, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. I was laughing the whole way through. There's epic set pieces. The verticality is crazy. The combat is cool. It's got enough challenge that it's still, you know, riveting to the end. And I did get all the way to the end, which is like a great review in itself, because how often do you finish games these days? Nobody does. Like less than 10% of people finish games. Like it never happens. They put it on the shelf and they move on to something else. Not this one. I made it all the way through a 48-hour playthrough.
Nice.
Oh wow!
And I'm gonna hit the DLC. Like so, and also I played with my fiance, and she loves Breath of the Wild. And this is like the first game since then that she's really, other than Animal Crossing, but that's different. But yeah, this is they really they were copying the homework of Breath of the Wild, and they changed it just enough that it became its own thing, and it is definitely its own thing. Play Immortals: Fenyx Rising; it's really good, and yeah, that's the exclamation point behind that one. The other game I played, if nobody wants to say anything about Immortals, but
You covered it
What
pretty
is-
well.
what is there to say?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
so the next game I play, NHL 21. It's on Game Pass. It's by EA. It's hockey. This isn't so much me talking about NHL 21, but how I played it. I talked about it earlier. I put a little clip on my Xbox controller, and I've been playing it through remote play. And it's fantastic. It's a great way to play games because the most boring thing in the world is watching somebody else play hockey on TV. Maybe, I don't know, but so I figured there's got to be. So yeah, throw the phone in the clip, hook up your controller through Bluetooth, and away you go. And there's so many other games that you can do this with, and it doesn't necessarily have like the same form factor as the Switch with the Moga Power A clip that I'm using, but you can get like a Razer Kishi or something like that if you want to stick your phone in the middle and have the Switch form factor. But it's the real deal. Like for a sports game, like you need reactivity and that to be somewhat lag free. And I was even my Xbox isn't even wired, and it was still very responsive. I wasn't like so it was impressive. And like I had a few frame drops here and there, but the console stayed whisper quiet while it was happening. Like it was a pretty seamless and transparent experience. So that's definitely something I'm going to be checking out more because like why not be able to play all these brand new AAA next gen games remotely? And so that's I'm going to be checking that a little bit more.
Awesome.
Yeah, very awesome.
So yeah, when we were talking about that earlier, I added another game to my playlist here, because I got 3 months free of Apple Arcade with my new phone. So I was checking out some stuff on there, but I tried out Clap Hands Golf, which is they're the makers who've made Outlaw Golf back in the day.
Holy smokes, really?
Yeah.
I would have thought they'd be gone.
No. So
Huh?
they've been making golf games all along. But this one's it's a Apple Arcade exclusive. And I did the same thing. I paired a PlayStation 4 controller to my phone, and I bought a little clip. So that's what I'm kind of excited to go and try this now. Try just with my Xbox One, but I'm gonna give that a try. Try some of the Game Pass games out that way. Apple Arcade. It's I'll just say this. It's okay.
Mhm.
I'm definitely not going to be continuing my my subscription after. It seems like something you would get for a month to just try the games you want to try and then and then cancel. And I mean, all these companies have put these subscriptions out, hope that you subscribe and just forget about them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just like put it on your credit card and just let it happen. But I'm not gonna do that. I am gonna try the other game there. I'm totally blanking on the name of it, but it's from one of the creators of Final Fantasy, and it's got these crazy diorama worlds that you.
I know the game, but I don't know the game.
Yeah. Well, you know
I know
what?
it, but I don't know it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually looking at that the other night, and I can't remember the name either.
I'll just actually look on my phone since I have it right here. Fantasian.
There you go.
Fantasian. Yeah. So those are the only two I've downloaded to try, and I'll try Fantasian for next week. But Clap Hands Golf, it's if you loved the old Outlaw Golf, where it's golf that doesn't take itself too seriously, I'd put in a few hours into it. It's great fun.
Nice.
I'm thinking about getting a like you mentioned, Damon, like one of the Razer.
Yeah, there's the Kishi and the other one. Can't remember.
I think Backbone. I think it's called.
Yeah.
Maybe, but yeah, just because I'm finding it a little off balance with the clip I got. It's a little
Yeah,
A little top heavy.
there's a lot of science that happens here. There's several pivot points and a spring, and depending
Oh.
on your phone, like I don't know, you can get top heavy, and you can there's problems with it, but I mean it was like a piece of plastic, and it was like $10
Yeah.
or something like that. So I
Yeah.
mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah. Also, another game I've been playing is Loop Hero.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
if you haven't heard of this game, it's oh man, I don't even know where to begin to describe it. It's like it's a roguelike in the sense that you play rounds and then you take what you've collected in those rounds and do upgrades and then play again. But the idea is you're this knight and you're just walking this path that's in a circle. But you're so every time you encounter a monster on the path, you get either cards or gear. And these cards you place and they'll be either monsters or like things that help you, like a village that'll heal you or something. So basically you're building the level on this loop. And so you want to place all your cards because you get more loot from that. Because I mean, I guess you could play it and just collect the cards and just have your guy things never getting harder, but that you're never going to make it anywhere in the game. But it's super addicting. I thought I'd just try it for like 20 minutes, and like 3 hours later, I was like, oh man. But it has those things that like games like Faster Than Light or even Dead Cells,
Mhm.
Just that the rinse repeat factor. Like some other kind of cool, unique things of it. So as you're walking around the um, the loop, you don't actually do any of the fighting. It's all done for you. Like the encounters, the knight just you have your fights and you get your loot from it. But you know, at, as soon as you're done a fight, you either got to place your cards or upgrade your equipment as you've got it. I don't know. If you like anything like roguelike like that, it's definitely kind of a newer take on it, and if you like roguelikes, give it a try. It's super cool. And lastly,
What were you playing it on? Sorry.
PC.
Oh, okay.
I picked it up on Steam.
That sounds like a game I'd really like.
Yeah, it's um I was playing it last night, and my buddy messaged me, and he's like, "What are you playing?" He's like, I looked it up on Steam when I saw you were playing that," and so then I just shared my screen over Discord to him. I'm like, I don't even know how to explain this to you, and so we ended up playing it for like an hour and a half, but like just kind of figuring stuff out. Like I'm at the point right now where the learning curve is just it's 89 degrees. Like I just, but I also like that in a roguelike, like just the figuring out portion of it. But yeah, it's some good fun, some good time wasting fun.
It's awesome. I'm just trying to see whether it's coming out on consoles or not. And
It's fairly
apparently it will
new.
be. Yeah,
Will it? Okay.
eventually. It'd
I
be-
mean, it runs. Even if I run it in full screen, it's still just a window on my desktop because the graphics are very like 8-bit, like
yeah, I see that.
your little guy walking around the. You're really not playing it for the graphics. It's
Yeah, it definitely looks cool.
and I heard about it just on a lot of the podcasts I've listened to. It's kind of the new hotness right now.
Yeah, it's getting some love.
So lastly, I hopped into Game Pass and tried a game that I'd heard some good things about, and I wanted to give a try, and that's Rain on Your Parade,
Oh yeah.
which is it's just a fun game. It totally reminds me of Donut County. If you've ever played Donut County, like it's very much Donut County, but instead of moving a hole to drop things in, you're just raining on people. But same sort of same sort of idea. Like you got to rain on different stuff or not rain on certain stuff, and it's it's good wholesome fun. Like if you're tired of killing things or
Yeah.
or like being like stressed out from strategy games or whatever, it was a good little just mindless fun. Yeah, it's got a great look. Totally reminds me of like Yoshi's Crafted World. Like it's got that very much
Oh,
that
sweet.
look to it. Yeah, like the cloud looks like he's been cut out from cardboard and then just like a piece of paper stuck on the front of the cardboard. Like
Oh,
yeah, it it's pretty cool. So yeah, if you got Game Pass, give her a try. It's also some good mindless fun. That's all I've been, besides playing way too many first-person shooters since, again, like, I'm definitely in a renaissance of that for myself. I'm with three different with three different people I'm playing battle. I'm like one person I play Battlefield 5, another person I play Apex Legends, and another person I play Call of Duty Warzone. Like it's been crazy, and I've been playing them like a lot in the past few.
and they just dropped Battlefield 5 for free on PlayStation.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
tried
Yeah,
it. It was pretty damn good.
yeah. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I am not good at first-person shooters, but I have a lot of fun. Darn it.
That's
So that's the important thing.
that's the main thing.
So Rob, why don't you take us home on what you've been playing?
Well, I did, because here we have lots of ideas. A lot of them don't stick, but I had an idea this week that with my backlog of games, I was going to go to my Steam library and I was going to sort by Steam review score per game, and I was going to take one near the top and one near the bottom and play them both. So ones I hadn't played already. So the first one I played at the top was one called Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which got a lot of acclaim back in 2013, I think it was. I'm looking at their Wikipedia right now, so yes, it was 2013. But it was a really unique idea where you had two brothers, and you were controlling one with the left stick, one with the right stick, and then you were interacting with the triggers and for each of them, and you were playing a co-op game by yourself. And it's really good. Like, it is really well done. Boy, like it still looks really good for essentially a PlayStation 3 era game. It looks amazing. Still plays really well. The camera controls are a little clunky, but they sort of had to do the bumpers because you're using both sticks, so you can't really control the camera like you normally would. So, but it's a nice little game with a horrible Disney-like beginning, which I won't spoil, but it just goes right into the tragic event, and then you're into the game.
Yep.
And but yeah, a really beautiful little game. Having a lot of fun with it.
I'm imagining kind of like a modern, like Lost Vikings or something, like a co-op game that you play by yourself.
Yeah, it's it'd be like playing that new one, It Takes Two.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like that. Yeah, it's same sort of idea, but controlling both with sticks really good. But I realized at that point I was having too much fun, so I went to the other end. And funnily enough, the first two games I tried wouldn't even start in Steam.
Oh no.
So so the first one, as I was moving up, that actually played was Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1, which is one I've been meaning to try for a while. And
why is it Episode 1, Rob?
Because it was going to be episodic. There were going to be many different short episodes because it was released on mobile at the same time.
Awesome. Okay.
It's an interesting tale behind it. Sonic Team is involved, but for the most part, it's made by one guy. It's kind of before Christian Whitehead got into making, the guy would go on to make Sonic Mania. This was another guy kind of reimagining the series, and it's side-scrolling. But you have, for example, like the homing attack that you would in the future 3D games. And it's a lot of decent ideas that don't really merge really well. Like, they were still kind of figuring it out. And the graphics are they're not great. Some of the animations, and I feel bad because you could tell it wasn't like the whole team at Sega tried to make this. It was like it was one guy. So for one guy, really good. But especially now that we have Sonic Mania, and you can see what basically one guy can do afterwards, and it's it's hard. So they got to 2 episodes, and then episode 3 was supposed to happen, but due to the sales of 2, it never did. And actually, Christian Whitehead was approached to do episode 3, and he refused, and then went on to do his own thing. So yeah.
So was it out on consoles at all, or just on mobile? Mobile and PC.
Mobile and PC, and I don't know if it ever made it to consoles. Huh. Let's check the interwebs.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, it totally was. 360, PlayStation 3, Wii, Android, Ouya.
Ouya.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And BlackBerry Tablet OS.
Oh damn.
So, yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Kind of think of Ouya as like a physical version of Stadia. Just thought of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. That's for sure.
Maybe that's where it evolved from.
Something with a lot of hype that really bombed.
Yeah, glad I didn't snag one.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Just as a little side note there, that Brothers game that you were playing, Rob, that has been on Game Pass forever. It's like a staple there. And I downloaded it ultra long time ago and still haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I'm definitely going to have a look at it now.
It's a really nice, wholesome game. It's really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad you pointed it out, Brent, because I was just looking. It's actually on the Switch, too. So I was like, oh, I'll add that to my wish list as well. But you know what? I'll go give her a try on Game Pass.
Yeah, for sure. Totally. I mean, like, I was trying that, what was it, Neoverse game, that card-based battle game.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'd really like this on the Switch, but, do I want to spend the money? And then I was flipping through Game Pass, found it on Game Pass, tried it out, and the Switch version actually happened to be like all 3 of them plus all the extra DLC. So it was worth the price, and Game Pass was a damn good tester to see whether I like the game or not. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I did that with Dead Cells and Slay the Spire. Played them on Game Pass and decided I'd like these on mobile or like being able to play them on the go.
Oh yeah, there's some games that would be great. What was it? Paper Dungeon. It was like kind of not really turn-based, but done like those old, Dungeons and Dragons games that were on like the TSR-80.
Oh yeah.
But it's all hand-drawn.
Oh.
And it looks really freaking cool. But it plays like the old D&D games, but visually, like not just with text.
Right.
So, and that's on the Switch.
Huh.
Yeah.
That might be the... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say that might be the first Trash 80 reference we've had here in a long time. It was,
I played a lot of good games on that.
Absolutely, yeah. You betcha.
Oregon Trail. Yeah, I think that was where I had my first experience on that, too. But yeah, Paper Dungeon, another awesome game, too.
Okay. Is that all you got, Rob?
That's it.
Okay. Well, I did, I don't know, I've got making us grumpy this week, or making me grumpy this week. Have you guys had much experience between the EA desktop and Origin on your PC?
No, thank God.
So I know Rob and I were bitching about it when when EA joined Game Pass there, and to be able to load your PC games. Things have not gotten better with this. So I've been playing, like I mentioned, a lot of Apex Legends, and I had it kind of figured out that I was able to just run it using EA Desktop. Like I still had Origin on my computer, but it was never launching. Just EA Desktop was launching. But since they did their big Season 9 patch last week, it now tries to launch both of them.
Oh.
So And then I get the message from Origin that's like, whoa, you already got an EA thing running. You don't need two. So you need to decide which one you're going to use. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just uninstall Origin because, I mean, they're moving towards EA Desktop.
Right.
And then last night, I was playing some Battlefront 2 with a friend of mine. And he loaded his up through EA Desktop. And I couldn't find, it would not show that I owned that game in my library on EA Desktop. So I had to go through Origin. But because Origin is what does the matchmaking and EA Desktop does separate matchmaking, we couldn't group up because because he had launched his through Desktop and I had launched mine through Origin.
Wow. Wow.
So the only way that we could end up playing together was he had to reinstall Origin on his computer.
Oh, dear Lord.
So it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to bring one out and make these new services only work with one of them, then put the other one to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't this, it's ridiculous.
It truly is. I mean, that's why I've only been playing the EA stuff on the Xbox.
Yeah.
And actually deleted everything EA on my computer after they said that, because I really only used it to play Anthem.
Mm-hmm.
And when they canned Anthem, I was just like, okay, no more need to have, like, it was constantly updating, crashing all the time, just obliterating itself for no reason. So when they canned Anthem, I just deleted it. It's like,
Yeah, it's
nope,
pretty
no more.
janky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, because we were playing Star Wars Battlefront, both of us, because we got it free off the Epic Games Store.
Mm-hmm.
I launched it out of Origin, which then had to open the Epic Games Store, and then it launches back out of Origin. It's like, oh boy, yeah. So a little frustrated last night with.
That reminds me of the Blizzard one as well.
Oh, you know what? I've never had trouble with Blizzard's launcher.
I had a few. The only launcher I've ever seen that was actually really great and it always worked well was the one for EVE Online. That thing was just amazing.
But did it launch other games?
No, just EVE.
Oh, okay.
But it was like rock solid. Never had issues.
Yeah.
So I loved it.
Yeah, I'd actually, like, if this stuff was running in BattleNet, I would be happy because there wouldn't be any issues.
It does make you really appreciate Steam, because when you go to Steam and you press the button, you never think, man, I hope it runs. Unless you're playing one of the worst games ever.
Sure enough.
Yeah.
There was a couple of Steam games that I bought, though, that wanted to open other launchers. Can't recall what they were.
Well, my Battlefield 5 does that because I bought it on Steam when it when it showed up there.
I had the Rockstar launcher for like 2 seconds.
So that's another funny thing. I think you can download Apex Legends through Steam, because if you just want to have it in your Steam launcher.
Yeah, you bet.
But it's still got to go through the Origin gateway. Yeah. So. Yeah, so that's making me grumpy this week. It's like, just come on, just if you're moving over to that, just shut down Origin and move everything over. Yeah. Is there anything making you guys grumpy this week? Or
I got something making me grumpy.
Ooh, all right.
Nice.
So I watched a 4K Blu-ray on the Series X for the first time last week.
Oh.
And didn't go so smooth.
Oh.
And I checked the internet for, just to see if anyone could corroborate my plight. And yeah, there was a lot of people. There was an entire Reddit thread of people that are just like, this is a complete gong show. But anyways, what happened? We were watching Donnie Darko, the 4K like remaster that just came out. So
excellent.
And like, I don't know, like midway through, it just like, it kind of did that thing where like I assumed what was happening is like maybe this disc is completely scratched or something, but it was freezing, like weird audio screeching and just a myriad of problems. And so I I'm like, oh, that's weird. So I turn it off and then, fire it back up, still the same thing. So then I exit to the menu to like the home menu, and then restart the app, load it back up, find the chapter I was on, and then still the same thing. And I actually had to end up eventually ejecting the disc out and then putting it back in, and then it was miraculously fixed. But just seems a little weird that, but I mean, how many people are watching movies on the Xbox? But anyways, it's you should be able to do it. That's
kind of the whole point.
Yeah. That's
it's supposed to be your media station in your house.
So maybe there'll be an update to help address some of that. But yeah, it hasn't been too smooth for that. So.
I had read about that like months back.
Yeah, there are some issues
with it. Yeah,
and it's still, as of a week ago, still happening. So,
did you try sticking in a 4K HD DVD?
I never had the HD DVD player.
Oh, you mean this one right here? Or?
That one?
No way.
Yeah, got it right here in a box.
In a box. Is that the Xbox?
That's the Xbox 360 HD DVD player.
Yeah.
I just thought, as we were talking about it, I was like, right, I haven't unpacked that yet. So
it's amazing. Yeah. Right along. That's right beside your UMD collection, probably.
Yeah, but it's funny. I actually didn't buy it because I already had an HD DVD player for the 360. I didn't buy it for that. It's because it came with 10 movies that I was like, oh, that's actually cheaper than it'd be in a thrift store. Oh, nice. There you go.
And that.
Yeah, not a bad deal all around.
There you go.
Grumpiness. Oh, man. Grumpiness. Yeah, I got a little bit. First off, I'll go with a lesser evil, and it'll be quick. Xbox has really got to fix this situation with the controllers and batteries, and it's probably just my luck, but I was doing a bit of digging. Controller's been cutting out, basically disconnecting itself from the Xbox to the point where I have to, reconnect it, reset everything. Batteries that were fully charged, read dead in like 15 minutes of play, and I put them back in the charger and they're still charged. So yeah, just a little gripe with the Xbox controller. Other than that, no major issues. PlayStation though, oh man, it has become the third PlayStation 5 has become a crash beast, to the point where I had to unhook it and put it away and hope for some later updates that fix these things, because I just don't even want to play on it right now. In fact, that's why I bought Resident Evil Village on the Xbox, was because I'm just like, no, I need to put this thing away, and just, do some anger management and get away from it for a while, because holy crap.
So the problem with your controller is that it's not charging the batteries while they're inside the controller? That's the...
No, the whole thing with them was it wouldn't charge the rechargeable battery packs. I went through like 6 of them, a battery pack charger, even the battery packs themselves. And this is both on this happened both on the S and the X. And the funny thing was, I had a battery pack, an older one that I was using in my Xbox One controller that was supposed to work and charge. And as soon as I put it in the Series S controller when I first got the S, it stopped charging. I put it back into the old one, hooked it up to the PC, and it miraculously just didn't charge anymore when it had been working fine for like months and months and months. AA rechargeables work fine in it, but it just seems to be like how the controller or the software is just like sensing the charge in the batteries. So yeah, I think I may just end up taking Damon's advice, and I've actually been looking for an Elite 2 controller, just because, and also I find this that, and Damon, you're very right on this. It's freaking loud, really clicky, especially late at night when you're playing games. Oh my god, is it ever noisy? Yeah.
That's the D-pad.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
a D-pad.
Yeah.
And I just found that the sticks also weren't stiff enough for me, so definitely going to be investing in an Elite controller. But that should solve a lot of my woes. So that's what's been making me grumpy this week.
So also as a caveat, we'll just add that Brent has a very poor relationship with technology.
Yeah.
Nothing seems to work for him.
He is charged with some type of electricity
Yes. Yes.
into the electronics.
Yeah. Like He-Man powers.
Yeah.
He's surrounded by microwaves on every side.
Actually,
His charge station's on top of the microwave.
just like zapping up. Actually, it was a very, very funny because Ryan had made a good point that I would have made a good QA tester just trying to break stuff to see if I can.
Yeah.
Because I probably could.
This device is crash proof. Give it to Brent.
Give it to Brent.
What the hell did you do to this?
Well, at least R&D would have some really solid products after. Because they'd have to make it me-proof.
Awesome. Rob, you got anything making you grumpy?
No,
No?
not at all. Yeah, it's been a good week.
You can no longer be a grumpy old gamer. Please hand in your sweater and your rocking chair.
And your HD DVD player.
No. Try that from my cold dead fingers. Along with my trash
Nintendo
80.
cardigan.
Yep.
Or actually, with Rob, it would be a Sega cardigan.
I'd have a cardigan of both sizes. Both types, yeah.
Awesome sauce.
One of those jerseys that's half and half.
That's right. That's right. Sonic and Mario.
Yeah.
Just like in the Olympics.
Together again for the first time.
Okay, well, if Rob's got nothing, then we'll bring this train into the station, and I'll just say thank you everyone for watching and listening. We appreciate it. If you want to drop us a line, you can send us an email to makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. Love to hear from you.
To win those free games.
And yeah, get some free games. Steam codes. We got a bunch of them to give away. And if you want to check out more of our stuff, you can go to thegrumpyoldgamers.com. We post stuff there sometimes. But facebook.com or facebook.com. Oh my god. That's
Don't
like
go to
the
Facebook. Don't go to facebook.net. It's nothing there for you.
On Facebook, just search out the Grumpy Old Gamers and you'll find our page. And that's where we post most of our recent stuff. So thank you everyone for watching and have a good evening.
Take care.
Right.